Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about what might be one of the best starter accounts that you could get rather easily for a couple different reasons, and I'm going to talk about that right now. But I think that this should be something that if you're, a lot of people are going to reroll, okay, people enjoy rerolling, and if you're going to go for a reroll, I'd say this one is doable. Might be a bit annoying to get, but definitely possible, even on the first try with a bit of luck. So let's go over that. So first of all, we are getting a redrawable SSR guaranteed gotcha ticket. So everyone is going to be able to get one SSR guaranteed. You just redraw and then you get your SSR. So that is the first thing. Now the second thing has to do with the gotcha event, which I'm going to pause and mute it because it's going to be pretty loud. Yeah, okay, well, unfortunate. So here it is. Basically, you're able to select an SR, a recollection bit, and cubes to save and get. So let's say you don't really want to reroll and you get lucky, then obviously you could save this and then you'll be chilling, right? So that's the way. Now I don't know what it is. I could let me check this. I've had 66 extra pulls because 66 people have put in the code. By the way, if you haven't yet, I would love for you to do that. All the links for rewards and events down below. And you've seen I've got to know SSR, and it's not like it's bad rates, right? 2.5% for SSR, 5% for recollection, 7.5, and I haven't gotten any. So I don't know if it's rigged, but I'm just throwing that out there. So now that we got that out the way, number one, you do the early gotcha event. Number two, your pre-registration rewards, which everyone's gonna have. So now let's actually talk about who exactly you should be going for. Okay. Now obviously you go for who you want, you play with who you want. Okay, this is a gotcha game, but just have fun with it. But I mean, to be fair, they kind of made the not hype, but like the fan favorite units good. So it's it does overlap quite a bit with each other. So number one is Gojo. I feel like people could easily have guessed that. I feel like every YouTuber I've seen has just been like spoon feeding the idea that Gojo is who you should be getting. But I'm going to explain to you why exactly you should be going for Gojo. So let's pull up his full kit now. I really do think that if you want like a good source, this is the best one, okay? This is going to be in my description all the time. You go to the wiki and you're going to have everything. So in terms of stats, he does have actually pretty high stats compared to others. I mean, if we're just comparing it to, I don't know, we could pull up Toji. Why not? Let's pull up Toji. I guess that might not be the best example. Hold on. Like just for example, Yuta, right? He does have quite a bit higher Jujutsu and Taijutsu, which is what the damage is based off of. His stats are just high. Now, the HP, I'm not going to lie, is just a flex because you don't even need it. His whole thing is that he cannot take damage. He is going to be, well, first of all, he only lasts 7 turns. So after 7 turns, essentially, he dies. Okay? He leaves the battle, he dies, right? But in those 7 turns, he cannot take damage. It's attack immunity, so nothing can touch him. Okay, literally nothing. It's beyond just damage. Like from what I was seeing, it's also stuns and stuff like that. So you just can't really be touched in this, right? You cannot take damage for 7 turns. And on top of that, he has a damage increase. So how this could work is you get your damage increase, and then you could just ult and then go AoE, right? Which, if you need to go quick, that's basically how it goes. But then even the rest, it's not bad. It is not bad. So overall, though, like, you do love to see it. Like, he's just the unit you should be going for with your reroll ticket or in the early gotcha if you can. But obviously, I've gotten shafted with an extra 70 pulls, so who really knows, right? And then the combo, I mean, like, I personally am not going to try to act like I know these. I've been educating myself heavily, but the combo's there, right? The combo's there, and there is a pretty cool one that I saw with Nobara. But yeah, so it's gonna increase break damage and then do AoE damage, but you take that as you see fit. But yeah, no, Gojo, in terms of like, he is still good. Okay, if we check it out, he's the only SSR that remains like in the top spots from release. Okay, that's it. The only SSR from release. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It is something to note, right? It is definitely something overall pretty important. So that's that. Now, next of all, this account doesn't have her, so I'm just gonna pull her up right away. I was gonna open her in game, but I don't have Nobara. But this Nobara is also going to be one that you're gonna want to go for. Okay. A lot of people, like, from what I'm seeing, is that you want Gojo and Nobara, but Nobara can work well alone. It's just when you consider, especially now that they're adding the tower early. I'm pretty sure, is it 50 floors? Anyway, let me just go check it. Now that they're adding, okay, also, if anyone knows how to really make BlueStacks better, because it's really glitchy for me. Like, I don't know if you see it, but for me, not loading, but like when I click on a button, you could see it like kind of pauses. But there's the illusory tower, which I think was the global name. And you know, these 50 floors, you're gonna probably need a lot of good DPSs, and if it's being added early, right, then that's another reason to kind of go that route. But let's go over what she does essentially. So, able to attack souls when attacking the same enemy multiple times, increases own damage. Now, I don't know if it really shows it in game. Obviously, it's in Japanese, so like when it's in English, that's gonna be great. But Nobara is a bad example overall because I don't have her in game. But like we'll see for the next unit. But anyway, basically how it works is that you're going to deal damage, right? And then afterwards you're gonna increase the enemy's nail count by 3. All right, here you're gonna increase your Jujutsu damage, which you do Jujutsu here, and Jujutsu here. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then your skill 3 is going to be that the lower your own HP is, the greater the damage boost. Okay, and then increases the skill damage when critical hit is performed, which does tie into the fact she has a 10% increased crit rate here. Now, the main thing is that her ult is essentially AoE, because you deal damage to enemies with the nail count, and then the higher the enemy's nail count, the greater the damage, and then you remove all the nails and then increase the skills damage when a crit is performed. All right, so basically you want her to crit, and then you want her to crit. This helps her a bit, and how it works is you like use the skill 1, and then you ult when it's on all the enemies you want it to be on for hard stages, right? Or if it's only 2 enemies, you put it on 2, or if you really don't care, put it on 1. Or you could basically spam it on 1, because it lasts 3 turns. So you spam it on 1, and then you're going to be doing extra damage with this because it increases per nail. Okay, I don't know if there's a limit. We'll see that more in game. I will be doing probably guides for this, so, you know, we'll see there. But, yeah, that's essentially it for that, okay? She's going to be another AoE, pretty good damage dealing DPS, and her being able to increase her own Jujutsu is pretty good. It's the only problem is, like, it's not going to be that useful when you consider this only lasts 3 turns, so essentially you can't, like, if there's like a lot of enemies, you can't really put it on everyone for like you should be able to, but like because it's 3 turns, you can't maybe stack it up as much as you'd want to and increase your Jujutsu. So that's something that's pretty important. But overall, she will be the one to fall off between her and Gojo, which is why, like, if you want one, go for Gojo. But obviously, if you're trying to reroll for a perfect reroll, then yeah, you could go for Nobara and Gojo. But like you could see here, all the other units, right? These are not launch. Wait, I feel like I'm tweaking. No, Maki. That Maki is not on launch, right? Yeah, this is the launch Maki. Okay. So yeah, that's basically how it's going to be, where like she's gonna kind of be the only one there on launch. And then we could go to the third unit, right? Which I do have. It would be hard not to have him. Well, not my account, but you know, still. Yaga. Okay, he is going to, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, all depending, going to be the third unit that you guys are going to want to prioritize. Okay, he is an SR, which is really good for everyone. I think everyone could agree there. He's an SR, so it's great. It is great. Him, you could just get on your pulls, but as you saw for me, like, he was the one in my early gacha. I don't know if I'm keeping this account, but he was the one in my gacha because, well, I didn't get any SSRs, and as a support, he's still being used to this day. He's still like top of the crop. Okay, so we're gonna go over what he does. He's basically an all-in-one debuffer and supporter. He is a supporter, right? But what has to be considered is that what his skills do. So number 1, it's just damage. Okay, single target. 2 is basically an AoE damage buff for both taijutsu and jujutsu, so everyone's damage gets increased accordingly, which is great. For 4 turns, very good. 45.8% for everyone is very strong, right? That's just how it is. Now, for the skill 3, okay, it's going to be doing damage to the selected enemy, combined damage, right, with taijutsu and some jujutsu, and then also increasing the selected enemy's damage received by 47.6%. So, like, for this, for example, you can use the skill 2, increase damage, then the skill 3, and then the ult is also pretty interesting, right? It's going to increase the enemy's damage received, but then also decrease, decrease, I didn't read it wrong, decrease the enemy's taijutsu and jujutsu. So it's increasing your damage, increasing the damage you do to them, or the damage they take, then decreasing the damage they do and increasing your damage. And then with combo, it's going to increase their break damage by 10% for 2 turns. So Yaga is very good. I mean, you just look at that. It's definitely going to be nice for a lot of stages. So you're going to definitely want the GOAT, okay? This ult is very strong, especially for single target. He works extremely well against big bosses, that is for sure, okay? I have not looked into the rest of the SSRs, but just going off of all of this, right, SSR supporters specifically, he's going to be able to do some very good stuff, and people still use him, and it's very funny because Yaga is one of those units. Wrong windows, I apologize. He's gonna be, he's level 100, okay? He's grade 10, level 100, so, you know, you kind of get the gist that he is pretty good. Like, this account isn't anything crazy, but, you know, it's still pretty fire, right? It's still pretty fire. So, you know, we take it. So that's gonna be it. That's like kind of the perfect reroll. You're gonna want Gojo, Nobara, and Yaga to really fill up your 3 main slots, and then the rest you could kind of go crazy on. Any more is a bit too much of an ask, but hey, I'm asking for 2 SSRs, and you only technically need to really go for 1, and then an SR. So that's going to be it for me. You guys let me know what you guys are personally going for, which units you want, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.